Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Wednesday. It's time for our midweek stock market update. Hope you're all doing well. Another big day here in the markets. Let's talk about the VIX real quick. The VIX is elevated here. It is highs, just off the highs of the day, and it's been pushing up with the market here. A little bit of concern there, but it's probably around the meeting, the earnings tonight, and then the Trump-Xi meeting, which will take place in the middle of the night. We look at the SPY. We have a down day at this point with about 15 minutes to go. We've been up 4 days in a row. We put a new all-time high in here on the open. And, here we are, kind of going sideways. We didn't even get into the gap that we made from the other day. We have a couple open gaps here. And overall, we held in well. Powell spoke today. Powell was his normal self. He was good. He was eloquent. He spoke well. They didn't trip him up. We got a 0.25 rate cut. December 1st, quantitative tightening ends. The one takeaway is he said, the one thing he did say was that uh, a December rate cut is far from a sure thing. And that's also because he says, they're running a little blind with the data, but they're keeping track of everything as best they can. There was the dissent. We knew that. We knew Mirren was one a 0.50 rate cut, and then Schmidt voted for no rate cuts. So, there's a little bit of uncertainty with the Fed. And as they said, they're trying to, you know, fight inflation, and you have a weakening job market they're seeing. And they said that's very hard to do at the same time. That said, they said today's cut was out of an abundance of caution. All right, so SPY is still holding okay. We're going to have that meeting tonight. Everybody's expecting a deal to be made. The question is, what kind of deal is going to be made specifically around NVIDIA and the technology and chips? Uh, what's proposed is that China will hold off for a year on rare earth curbs, and they will start buying uh, agriculture soybeans specifically from us again. We will not put on the 100% tariff, and there's talk that the fentanyl tariff may even be reduced. All is good in the world. We go into today, the Qs were stronger, holding up better. IWM has been weaker. Bonds are dumping here. They didn't like that. And then you look around. Google going into earnings tonight, put a new all-time high. Let's quickly chat about that. We know they're going to beat. We know they're going to guide up thanks to that Anthropic deal. The question is that built in after the size of this move? Microsoft will report tonight. They're just off the all-time high. Also, we'll get Meta, which is also not far from the all-time highs on all of these. So these are very big names to see tonight, along with other names like CMG. We get Apple and Amazon tomorrow. Google front, we talked about Google. Palantir also put a new all-time high in today. It had a nice move there. Apple said, hold my beer. It put a new all-time high in there today. NVIDIA gapped up and is still holding up relatively well. A new all-time high there. AMD also a new all-time high. Avgo, come on, you get this drill, new all-time high. Micron, up, new all-time high as this semi and the AI trade remains very, very strong. SoFi put a new all-time high in as well. Didn't really do much, but didn't hold the pop. The pop was in the first couple minutes, but overall holding in well. Hood remains several bucks away from all-time highs going to earnings next week. By the way, on Palantir, there is speculation that they're going to do a stock split. What else? Anything else? Boeing earnings this morning were all over the place. They're down on it, whereas Cat had a great earnings and they're up nicely at a new all-time high. So, when I look around this market, I think you look for any shallow dip, you have to look for buying opportunities. What I'm looking forward to now is seeing which companies of these Mag 7 have the best earnings and looking for those are the ones that are going to want it long into the end of the year because there's no way nobody's going to be selling them. By the way, Powell made one great point. He said this is not like the dot-com bubble because the companies that are leading actually have revenue and profits. That was a good point he made there. All right, with that said, let's get ready for earnings. Staying late with you guys tonight. And if you want to join us, there'll be a link in the description. I hope you're all doing well.